Pinking here, and I'm back with another of my AFL 2020 Premiership season. We're up to round 6, which is, this will be the first game that I actually upload as the game was meant to start, which in this case I think was a 7. Was a 7:55 match. Yeah, some Melbourne versus Richmond. Heavy rain today at the MCG, or tonight I should say. Looks like a good setting though. Still a fair few fans in the crowd. Well, the crowd is all fans, I guess. I meant fans in the stands. Mostly just mostly up in the upper tiers, hidden from the rain a little bit. Kane Lambert on his 100th game.
That's true,
True Tiger champ, apparently.
It's a big day for Richmond.
Let's get going, mate. Let's get going.
They run on in full confidence. They're looking sharp, and the crowd are appreciating it.
Stay in the hunt with a win today. Lift the intensity, blow them away.
The banners are looking
Funny that they didn't rhyme anything with hunt.
The captains of both sides make their way to
Oh, Varney
the coin toss.
in Kutch. Varney and Kutch. Ball's tossed. Coin's tossed. Varney wins the toss. He's gone left screen with the rest of the Dees.
To get into the action.
My words aren't working. My brain is broken. Ball is thrown up in the air. Ray didn't even have time for any mistakes with the bounce. He just throws it up. Nathan Jones gets the clearance and it goes inside Melbourne's 50. No one takes the mark. Dylan Grimes ends up picking the ball and gets tackled. So a ball up in Melbourne's 50. It goes straight down to a Richmond player and bombs it out. No mark. Booted back towards Melbourne's goals. It's intercepted and intercepted again. Why don't we just handball to ourselves? And it's just still heading towards Melbourne's goals. And another turnover, and Mitch Hannon gets the ball and kicks a point. That's the first score for the match. A bit of a sloppy beginning to the game. Booted outside 50 where Joel Smith takes the mark, sends it back inside 50. Jaden Hunt takes it. He's on a tight angle here, but he does have the distance. Will he look to pass it off? He probably will. But not in this game. We're just going to take the shot. It's a point. So 2-0 to start the game.
Melbourne with the edge right now over Richmond.
And Jaden Hunt disappointed with himself for not centering the ball like a normal AFL player would have. Tigers struggling to get it outside of their defensive 50 at the moment. They just can't really get the kick-ins right. Melbourne boot it back in and it's gone out in the full. Mitch Hannon.
Hannon with a poor kick out of play.
So Hannon's had 2 kicks and got 1 point out of it.
Defensive 50.
Socket forward, still can't exit the 50. There's numbers around the ball for Richmond though. Shane Edwards with a perfect bounce in the pouring rain. You don't see that too often. A 2-on-1 for Richmond here. They don't need to work it between each other because they just get to the ball first. And Jack Rewalt hits the goal post. Thought they might have had to use each other to... Well, Max Gawn plays on. Goes for a run. I thought they were going to, use each other to move it up further, but Rewalt just wanted to have a shot himself. Viney tries to take on. Must have got a last-second handball because that should have been holding the ball. Dees away here. They've got 3 players. No Richmond players around them. Instead, they just booted up to a 1-on-1. I think Grimes was the one that comes across, or Asprey comes across and gives a good old spoil. Demons unfazed though, and they enter towards their 50 into their goals. Wow, I fucked that up, but Nathan Jones kicks the goal. I was going to say towards the goals inside their 50, and yeah, you heard what I said. Balled up in the centre of the ground. It's 8-1 so far. Richmond had a chance to get a good clearance there. I think it was Soldo, but he gets tackled as he was about to kick it away. Adam Tomlinson's tackled and it's a ball up. 3 minutes to go in the quarter. Still a lot could happen. Basher Hawley gets to the ball, boots it forward. Players arriving from all angles to get to the mark there, and rough contact against Josh Caddy. Michael Hibbard comes across the pack to take a mark there, and this will probably be the last kick of the quarter if there's no mark, which there isn't. And yeah, I was right, that was the last kick of the quarter. So 7 points the difference at quarter time. Melbourne leading Richmond. Not a whole lot to really say about that. Just maybe Melbourne could have taken their chances a bit better. 7 inside 50s to 1 is what I'm talking about. 3 hit-outs to 1 as well in Melbourne's favour.
Thanks, Gary.
Clangers 7-5. I don't know if they really count the Clangers properly, but anyway, Shane Edwards with 3 disposals. Everyone else on the leading disposal getters list all have 2. Nathan Jones with the only goal for the match so far.
Ready to go for the second turn.
Alright. Nate the Tank came on, but he's still not in ruck. Gawn wins it, gets the clearance himself, sends it high up in the air, and Richmond are all over the contest here. Joel Smith gets tackled, and it's a ball up. Just outside Richmond's 50. Booted forward, but it was a high tackle against Jake Lever. And somehow Nate the Tank gets a bit of space in the forward 50, and they pinpoint it straight to him. So good mark to Nan Curvis, and he has a shot on goal, and he's missed it.
You can see that happening right after it left his boot. The Tigers behind by 6.
Alright, so a goal the difference now. 2 points to 1 goal 2. And I think that was Lever. Takes the kick in and runs it a fair way before kicking to the 50, where they just turned it over to Kane Lambert. His 100th game. He centres the ball inside 50. There's players. No one gets to the contest. And the ball was loose for a long time there before Dusty wraps up Jack Viney for a ball up. Punch down. Running onto it was a Richmond player. Who was it? It was Dan Rioli, and his snap misses. So it's 3 points to 1 goal 2 now. It's 5 points the difference. And yeah, we're just going to play on again and try and clear the 50, which doesn't happen. Numbers converging on the ball, and Richmond end up with more of them. And Vostwin ends up kicking the goal. So Richmond up by a point now. I've noticed when it's raining, the accuracy gets really shit. Like really, really shit. Like, to be fair, yeah, the accuracy probably does get worse in the rain. But yeah, it's a bit ridiculous how inaccurate this game makes it. Throwing the ball against Tomlinson, even though, oh, I mean, the ball came out. I guess that would be throwing, if I can't really tell. Ball comes loose, kick forward by Richmond. So they start to get a bit of a lot of attacking going on here. Dan Rioli runs onto it, and the short kick finds Adam Tomlinson. Tomlinson's been around the ball a lot. I guess so has Rioli, but I've just noticed Tomlinson recently. Ball just keeps getting picked up, and whoever picks it up gets tackled immediately. Kane Lambert gets sent over the boundary line and through the fence. So the throw-in comes, and it's tapped down to no one in particular, but Dan Rioli gives away a high tackle against Lever. Lever goes dangerously across goal, doesn't hit his target. I think it's Kolajasny, and he has a one-on-one here. He manages to win it, boot it up in the air. It's a 3-on-2 in the marking contest. Angus Brayshaw comes down with it. He goes to the centre of the ground where Kane Lambert's waiting. It's a 100-gamer. Sends it back inside 50. No marks taken by Voston. Ball comes out, and Melbourne, with a few cool heads, boot it back to the centre of the ground. And that will pretty much be their half. High tackle against Tom McDonald won't matter because the siren goes. Half time, it's 1 point the difference, and Richmond are in front.
Let's see what the stats have to show.
Richmond are allowing the opposition
So they almost even up the inside 50 count completely. Hit-outs have been evened up.
Much needed rest as we prepare to
Everything else there, I mean, Melbourne's had 15 clangers at half time. Which is pretty inefficient, so yeah, for every 2 disposals there's a clanger, pretty much, for Melbourne. And that's even worse for Richmond? Is that worse? No, it's not. What am I thinking about? Anyway, it's about the same actually. Yeah, Jake Lee, the major ball winner. That's pretty much because he's been playing on from all the kickouts. Everyone else on 3 there. I'm just going to keep going.
A big second half about to begin.
So each team's only kicked 1 goal. Ball comes forward, socketed forward. That's not a bad decision in the rain. Handballed onto the ground is a bad decision though. Soccer forward again by Richmond. The 1-on-1. Who is that? Is that? Yeah, it is Tom Lynch. He bumps him to the ground, gets some space, runs, takes a bounce and boots it straight through the goal. So yeah, gave Tom Lynch a bit too much space there. The 1-on-1 was obviously not enough to stop him, and he wheeled around and kicked the goal. So Richmond, that doesn't look like much, that 7-point lead, but that is huge in the wet. Ball's kicked by Brayshaw, and Richmond are 1 out here, and they don't use it. They centre it back to the 50, where Viney takes the mark, and he sends it back where it came from. If it goes out of bounds, it probably won't be deliberate. I haven't seen a whole lot of deliberates called. It doesn't matter though, because it never made it to the boundary line. Dusty first to the ball, he gets tackled immediately. He sends it out, and Nathan Jones gets tackled immediately. So not a lot of clean ball use here. Viney gets the ball, and Dusty tackles him immediately. Tit for tat here as Dusty gets the ball and gets tackled immediately by Viney. They don't like each other at the moment. Ball comes out. Dusty tries to get a kick away, gets tackled by Viney again. Just keeps spilling, and high tackle against Jack Higgins on Viney because Dusty couldn't land his tackle on him. Kick down the wing. Spills out, and there's numbers there for Richmond. They go wide. It's actually probably going to be a decent result because Nankervis gets to the ball first, boots it towards goal. He's kicked it. Nank the Tank. He didn't get onto the ball immediately. He let it bounce a few times before picking it up. But yeah, he wheels around, jogs inside 50, and then bangs it through. So Richmond, with 2 goals in this quarter alone, now lead the game by, what is that, like, of 13 points? Yeah, it's 13 points. By the time I worked out how many points in front they were, Christian Petrarca ends up with the ball and he kicks it straight through the middle. So that's what happens when you're distracted. It's 7 points again.
Looking more dangerous inside 50 now. Great reward for effort.
You can just tell that I'm struggling because I can't use words to form sentences at the moment. Can't even work out what 21 minus 8 is. Kicked wide to the wing. 1-on-1, and Jack Graham was standing there for an eternity. He comes down with it anyway. Oh, who was that? He just turns and bangs it towards goal, and Neville Jetta is there to intercept it. Stop it from getting there. Viney fends off Dusty from the marking contest and takes the mark. He gives it up. Kane Lambert picks it up just to get drilled by Viney. And Shane Edwards goes up in the ruck contest against Max Gawn. Somehow it gets down to Dan Rioli and he hits the goalpost. So it's now an 8-point ball game. and he doesn't look too happy. Dusty comes to console him about being inaccurate. Oh, Basher Hawley tried to muscle his way into a perfect position. Didn't get to him though. Kicked forward by Richmond after the throwing the ball call was made. Kicked forward for Melbourne, but the siren goes. I can't keep up with the game either. That's about 5 seconds behind. Anyway, 3/4 time.
What stands out for you?
Richmond up by 8. They've got more inside 50s. The hitouts are almost 50-50 now. The clangers have evened out a bit as well. Melbourne only had one clanger in that quarter. I guess that's what happens when you don't really have the ball. And yeah, that worm's steadily going towards Richmond's favour. So Jake Lever's still got 5 disposals. Nate the Tank with 4 disposals, along with Jack Rewalt. Shane Edwards with 3. No multiple goal kickers yet. From what I saw, I might have missed one. Ball goes out. It's going towards Melbourne's goal, despite the fact that Richmond have had the disposals. Big spoil. Numbers going goal side for Melbourne. Shane Edwards defies all the players that come towards him. Kicked out towards the wing, and Voston takes the mark. He gets smothered immediately, and it goes straight back inside Melbourne's 50. Melbourne pressing hard. Jaden Hunt kicks it forward. Angus Brayshaw's injured, but right now Melbourne would be more focused on the goal that was just kicked. It puts them back to 2 points down, and it's absolutely game on right now. Pouring down with rain. Melbourne start to get a bit of momentum here. Booted forward by Nathan Jones, and Jaden Hunt again takes the mark. Hunt sort of asserting his dominance in the forward 50 at the moment, and he kicks it out. Oh no, it's a point. So they're down by 1 point now. Thought it was going to be out the full. It was shaping that way, and it just came back enough. So 1 point the difference.
Searching for a teammate.
They go short out of the kick in, and Basher Hawley sends it out of the pocket. Outside 50, and Stephen May's under it. So Melbourne again pushing for it, except Stephen May's kick comes off the side of the boot and straight out of bounds. Went straight down the tunnel. Shane Edwards goes to the danger area. Jack Graham almost got spoiled by his own player, and he proceeds to handball it to him right in front of goal. That's so dangerous. Anyway, Richmond managed to get it out. It's soccered back towards the 50, throwing the ball against Jaden Hunt, and Richmond might have just been saved by that. Looking around, can't find anyone that will take the mark, so he just kicks it towards the boundary. And Stephen May gets the ball first before getting slammed into the signage. Actually went straight through it. So the ruck contest tapped down by, I think that was Nate the Tank. Ball comes out. Yeah, it's Nate the Tank, and he handballs forward. Richmond streaming towards goal. They have no one up forward, so they have to kick sideways. Trent Conchin takes the mark. Now he can go inside 50. Players have got back now. 3-on-1 towards goal. Running towards it. Is it Dan Rioli? He's missed again. Still 2 points the difference. 4.5 minutes remaining. They had players there. If he had just picked it up, he could have run into an open goal. Instead, he socketed it, and it never corrected. Rioli running back with a flight, punches the ball, gets forward, and Dan Rioli is absolutely everywhere, and he's kicked a goal, and that pretty much seals it.
Richmond by 8 points.
When he kicks the last point, he spoilt the ball, runs straight towards goal to receive the handball to kick the goal.
Tackle results in a free kick.
So a high tackle. If he hurries up here, they might still have half a chance to get a second goal, and he's nailed it. So they've got 1 minute 25. Christian Petrarch has given Melbourne half a chance to win this steal, but they have to be absolutely clean with it. Get it straight out the ruck tap, get a clearance, get a mark inside 50, take a shot after the siren. That's pretty much the game plan. Oh, they've gone sideways. Mitch Hannon takes a while to get off the ground. In fact, he took so long that the siren goes before he does get up, and Richmond win.
We saw here today.
So they almost made that plan that I'd said work out. They could have gone inside 50 with that kick. Instead, they went short. So that kick could have been from inside 50 and they would have had a shot on goal. Instead, he was too far out and didn't even try.
Final scores.
So a 2-point win to Richmond.
4-3-27. That's it for us. We'll see you again next time.
It's been a pleasure, Hutto, and we'll catch you next time.
Most of the stats are minorly in Melbourne's favour. 46 tackles to 39. I think that's higher than I've seen for a while. Don't know if it's the highest I've seen though. Big tackle count. Anyway, Nate the Tank ends up with 6 disposals and a goal, so I think he'll get best on ground. Dan Rioli will also be in there. Actually, he'll probably get best on ground, and then Nate will get second. Jaden Hunt will be in there as well. Okay, well, I mean, I can see why they would have done that. I've got Nate the Tank right. I did say Dan Rioli would probably pip him for man of the match, but he wasn't even there. Yeah, what's the decision making here? Viney and Lambert. I don't know. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed. I'll be back tomorrow for the next game. It's a Saturday afternoon game. It's not Collingwood and Essendon. That is one of the games that is on tomorrow, but it's not that game first up. It's a different one. I can't remember what it is. So, yeah, stick around for that one, and I'll see you.